Hey kids, yeah, the mic is on. Thanks for coming out. I know the fair is going on. Fred's here too. Hot dang. Hey, I dare you, please stand up and join our guest soloist on the Star Spangled Banner. Here's Caitlin Sisler. So, if you remember Caitlin, then you know what you're up for. If you haven't heard her before, that was just a little taste. Oh, Lordy, you're in for it. And Jesse, your dad's here too. How nice. I know. I remember you as a syrup of let's see, what's that stuff? Tonic syrup. We'll talk later. We got some birthdays, kids. Lois Ryman, who hasn't missed a gig all summer. Her birthday was August 6th. What's today? 8th, so I can't do the math. Monday, huh, Lois? Happy birthday. Kurt's was on the 5th. Hey, Kurt, we're about the same age, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Welcome to Medicare.
Welcome to Medicare. There he goes. He's got the red, white, and blue card. And a happy birthday wish to a friend of one of our members, to Joey. Wishing you the best the world has to offer because you give your best to the world. Here is happy birthday. Oh, and John Leather's birthday as well. Wait, do we have any more? All right, hold your peace. Oh. And all you unannounced birthdays. And for all of us on birthdays in the winter time, or spring or fall. This Obamacare is not near what it used to be. Getting Medicare is pretty good, huh? We can just live long enough. Now I've got to live long enough to take advantage of it and then steal it away from my kids. Is Paula Houston in the crowd? Oh, I'm so jealous of Paula Houston. Is she here? In the back. Someone saw her. Well, there we go. Thank you, Paula, for being here. For all of us that are orphans, and I remember the first time that one of my colleagues, not one of my most sensitive colleagues that I've taught with. But he came in the room and finally mentioned he was an orphan, and I looked at him, went, what are you talking about? His mother had passed, and his father was already gone. For those of you that don't have a father around anymore, you'll understand. We were talking about this the other evening at our review at a club after rehearsal, and as I began to explain how lucky Paula is that her dad, Ray, wrote music, and that tonight she gets to have a little piece of her daddy right here with her and with all of us. And I wish my daddy could have, was a musician, but at least he was in the same service. Ray served in World War II in the Navy, and he was a musician. A Navy musician, and he wrote music. And the first concert this summer, she came to me afterwards, and we had a little chat, and I signed some books. Hey, speaking of books, kids, I'll be here afterwards, too. The line won't be too long. It's okay, I'll stay because Dairy Queen promised to stay open late. Oh God, where was I? Okay, Paul and I were talking, and that her dad, she had some marches, and wondered if there's any way. I said, hell yes! And the hardest thing about it is that it's manuscript. So those of us that are used to reading, a cursive writing, it's kind of the closest thing to that. If you read music, it means it's handwritten. It's not done by a computer. So it's not near as neat and clean and tidy and all the way that we expect music to be written now. We get all of the clip when musicians are given a piece of music that doesn't meet the standards because our brain just goes right into that mode. And all of a sudden, the musicians are going, oh man, it's manuscript. He's got really good manuscript, though he has a tendency to put long notes in the middle of the bar. Have you done that for you too?
Yeah.
Yeah? He put the long notes in the middle of the bar instead of that's how crazy we are about it. It's not that I expect that, it's that, I've read music for 60 years and I expect that note to be there. When it's not, it's hard to understand. It takes a while for the brain to click in, especially older brains. This is so much fun. We've got two of her dad's marches, and we're going to share them with her, and we all get to be here for it. And for all you that don't have a dad around anymore, well, we all share that with Paula. Here is World War II Memorial March by Ray Houston. Yeah, there's another one of those that just trying to slap the smile off of her face. Wasn't it cool during the breakup strain that he got all the service songs in there? You heard the little snippets of the service songs, and then a little bit of My Country 'Tis of Thee thrown in the end. God, what a great, what a fine march, and to know that your father wrote it, even better. Okay, kids, let's get Caitlin up here. If you have been waiting all week long, you will not be disappointed, and you'll recognize the tune, even though if you don't know the name, Caro Nome, or the composer, Rigoletto. No, the opera name Rigoletto. Uh-oh, the Grout came back to me. The Grout, freshman music history. The guy who wrote the name of the book is Grout. They still use it. And the composer who wrote it, which is Giuseppe Verdi. You'll know the tune just as soon as she starts to sing it. Please welcome the bandstand. This is Caitlin Sisler and Caro Nome. Okay. From the sublime to the ridiculous, it's all about contrast. Back in 1963, stereo hit the world. Ooh, I just saw the news tonight. 10 million of us bought these suckers. Mustangs. The 10 millionth rolled off the Flat Rock assembly line today. In that same, in the 64, this piece was written in 63, that stereo was a big deal. It was really just high fidelity. They had no idea what stereo was, and God help us, a couple of years later when they thought they had quadraphonic down. It'll date those of us that remember that. I chose the composition, Trumpets in Stereo, because of the composer, James Christensen, and I know his stuff. He was the first composer in residence for Disneyland. So he wrote all the beginning troubadour stuff. Before we even had Tuba Christmas, he was out there writing tuba quartets. And that saxophone quartet that would run around the park and honk, that was all James Christensen stuff. The fellow knew how to write. He was like, Leroy Anderson of the West Coast. That's what I call him. And you'll hear it right away. Here's a cute little trumpet feature for the whole section. Here's Trumpets in Stereo by James Christensen. And now we're going to have Caitlin come up and play the saxophone. Oh, yeah. I messed up before. That'd be a good one, huh? Reminds me of a Bitterroot community band tour where we just all switch turns every time. That would be fun to hear Jesse sing some and then hear Caitlin play the saxophone. I wonder, how is she? What did she play in band? Did she ever play in band? Oh, a cellist. Okay. He- I bet you Jesse would win the trade. Maybe I'll try that next year. Hey, Jesse Docknall is with us now. Is that right? And Jesse is the band director at Big Sky and a fine saxophone. Ah, look at that! Look at that! Hi, how's the nacho booth going, buddy? All right, the nacho booth. Oh man. There we go. We could run down the fair. It's free now, so you could run in, buy some Big Sky nachos, or just, I just go at the booth and look pathetic. They give me free food. They go, wait, weren't you the band director here 100 years ago? And I give free food. It works. I practice looking pathetic though, okay? We found some great things to feature Jesse with today. This is the Sax King. It's a schmaltzy piece in the turn of the century, and you'll 20s maybe, huh? Yep, in the 20s. If you want to enlighten us about Ed Chinette, there we go. He's got some dirt on the composer.
So Ed was a member of a judging panel for the state of Illinois' very first band contest. And there was a great article with his written comments for the young musicians. These are high schoolers, and he wrote the really nicest things about Joliet High School's band, really nice things. But then he was brutally honest about a few other musicians. Here's just a couple of his words in regard to some other bands. There wasn't a band penalized for playing too softly, though many were marked off for using more ambition than judgment. There were 4 strains in that piece, 3 of them being strains on the mental, moral, and physical turpitude of the judges. Here's the 8th band, which has tried to finish Schubert's unfinished symphony. As far as we are concerned, some of them have already finished it. Evidently, that baritone has got his musical training from hollering down a rain barrel. Get a sweet, pretty tone, old man, and leave the noise for the fire alarms, the circus calipos, and the earthquakes. Music shouldn't attempt a competition with a cyclone. And there's more. It just keeps getting meaner. So, we hope you enjoy this little ditty he wrote for saxophone. And let's hope he's not going to write any comments for me.
Hey, I'm not going to forget. Here come our wonderful volunteers to pick your pockets. So dig down deep. Make sure to save $15 to buy a book. Did I tell you I've got the book up here for sale? I can still make you case discounts, and they'll be out. Thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate it. The city does fund us a little bit, and we appreciate that. Look at that beautiful dress Corey's got on tonight. And their two little boys. Their two little boys are dressed in matching tuba seal shirts. They're so cute. All right. There's a vast network of band geeks all over the world, and we trade music all the time, and we talk about music. Can you imagine band nerds on the web? We're all excited. We find new things, and people ask me for music. They can't believe how deep our library is, and I go in and share something, and this old fellow from the Leroy Town Band, somewhere up in the Northeast, said, hey, I bet you'll like this one, because I just send out music. I don't ask for contributions or postage or any of that stuff, just sharing music, and much of the time now we're doing it digitally if I have the help of my kids. We got this one, and I didn't know anything about it. It is so much fun. It's March of the Bersaglieri, which is an Italian rifleman, and they were known as quick response, light cavalry, quick response. And I found a video of them playing this march, and they are in a marching band playing, and then they break after the first frame into running down the streets, playing this march at the same time. Now the quality's not that great, but it sure the heck was impressive. And Joel may do it. Yep, poor Joel. Joel was wondering if he gets the spirit, if you all of a sudden see a trumpet player running around, you'll know what's going on. Here's March of the Italian Riflemen by Art Ellenberg. got a bunch of stuff going on musically this week as well. So the fair is going on. I did offer Stampede Pete a reprise. And those of us that remember Stampede Pete, Matt Tipton at Washington Middle School, trombone player and wonderful singer. He said Stampede Pete is retired, though the Stampede is going on. To start tomorrow night, or are they out there riding stock tonight? And I was hoping to get Matt back up on the stage. Matt is taking a job, and he's going off to Bangor, Maine. So Stampede Pete will be recruiting for some other cowboy. Also this week, St. Anthony's Church is hosting a benefit, a silent auction, and open mic for Jody Marshall, the fantastic pianist we lost earlier this summer. Thursday night at St. Anthony's at 7. And the Missoula Symphony Orchestra at the downtown at Caras Park, and catch the, it's probably the, and we all know that Darko's leaving, but it's a year away. But John's usually hiding over here. I don't see John right now. John, he's not here tonight. He's probably busy working. Well, maybe they're rehearsing. Maybe so. The Missoula Symphony Orchestra. What time is that gig? 7 o'clock down at Caras Park. It'll be a little cooler there. It is a Friday night. Hey, welcome back to the stage. Here is Jesse Docknall, and he is doing a composition written by Lenny Niehaus. And Lenny Niehaus was the lead alto sax player and the #1 arranger for the Stan Kenton Orchestra, and all of his brass players especially. Oh my gosh. So the guy knew how to write. Here's a cute little piece called How to Canadian. smiling people. Gosh, it's nice to make people smile. I see you smiling down there, Dad. I remember playing for my father. Hey, we're lucky enough to share another one. This is the Fighting Lady March by Ray Houston. It was an aircraft carrier operating in the Pacific Theater during World War II.
Sunk at the Battle of Midway.
Really? Sunk at the Battle of Midway? No. Paul was waving us off. Don had his smartphone out. Maybe you want to try my flip phone instead? Another fine composition. Enjoy and smile along with Paula. Here's the Fighting Lady March, the USS Yorktown. All right, what better time and song than for now? I took a look at tomorrow's temperature and thought, nah, I'm gonna clean the carpets today. Try to beat the heat. I'll go lay in the river tomorrow or something, but they come and throw more water on me. This is summertime. This is George Gershwin's famous tune, and you're lucky enough to be here and share this music with Caitlin's sister. Back to the bandstand. Caitlin, please. So lucky to have these folks in town. And will come out and share music with us on this wonderful evening. Oh, it's starting to cool off, the sun's down. Hot dang, maybe the carpet's dry. Our final number. Hey, we'll be here. Speaking of final, next week is our final concert of the season. That's one more than we used to do. When I retired, I didn't have to run away for a week and pretend to have vacation before going back to school. Now I don't care. I've got the rest of the year off. I got it. So, sorry, Grant. I know there's some people with still jobs. This is a great piece. Susan Hintz, the gal who did most of the research on that book I'm hawking, and she does lots and lots of research. She found the composer of this tune. It's called Dangerous Blues. It's a foxtrot, so if you feel like dancing, go ahead and get up. Though I like to keep the tempo back a little bit. It's called Dangerous Blues. She was a Kansas City phenom, and she died at smallpox after this hit and several others at the age of 17. Yeah, isn't that cool? I mean, not cool that she died, but she was so prolific at such a young age. That's what I meant. Oh boy, more stepping in it. Hey, we'll be here next week. A slew of soloists, wonderful things going on. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing this wonderful evening. Ron, for doing all your MCAT taping. Thank you, buddy, so we can watch it this winter when we're huddled up underneath the blankets. Here is Ta-de-da-da-de-dum, the Dangerous Blues. you. That was rescued from the Boston and Montana band of Butte, Montana, of Butte, America. Hadn't been probably played since 1920. Hey, see you next week, kids.